Veteran Labour politician Andy Burnham has won the Makerfield parliamentary by-election, clearing a major hurdle for an expected challenge for the Labour leadership. The 56-year-old is a long-time figure in centre-left Labour. He is expected to challenge Starmer as party leader and even Prime Minister, and needed to win the high-stakes vote to be in this position to trigger such a contest. Now, former Labour MP Joss Simon stood down in Makerfield so that Burnham could try to return to Parliament and run for leader. He secured nearly 55% of the vote, beating Reform UK's Robert Kenyon by more than 9,000 ballots. Turnout was a historically high 59%. Now, Burnham, a former government minister who has been Greater Manchester Mayor since 2017, has also served as a cultural and health secretary between 2008 to 2010. Now ensured his return to Parliament by easily beating the hard-right Reform UK party candidate in the Makerfield constituency in northwest England.
Everyone knows that politics isn't working. Everyone can feel that the country isn't where it should be. Tonight just could, be the turning point. But I do say to my own party, this is a final chance to change. This is what people said directly to me on the hundreds of doorsteps that I stood on. We must hear it, we must act upon it, and we must get it right.
For more on this, our correspondent Stuart Smith is joining us live from London. Stuart, welcome to the broadcast. How do you see the political shift, the power shift within the party after Burnham's win?
Well, remember, you just heard a Labour politician talking about a Labour government. This is someone that clearly wants the leadership of the country. It's not someone who's quite happy, as we heard earlier in the week, might be offered a cabinet position by Keir Starmer in order to try to stop any prospect of a leadership competition. At the same time, Keir Starmer has repeated once again he would not stand aside and he would fight. So Andy Burnham's hope that the Prime Minister would be convinced to leave, perhaps by senior cabinet ministers, as the right thing to do to avoid a divisive, drawn-out competition, that might not be happening either, though over the next 72 hours we could start to see that shift change. So for now it looks like a leadership competition might be on the cards. That will be Andy Burnham's second hurdle, having won this election, albeit with a very high percentage of the vote, 55% to the 35% of the runner-up. That is a sign that voters there at least want something to change. Now, Keir Starmer has knocked this back a bit, suggesting that voters at that by-election were voting for a Labour's politics of hope, not Reform UK. So he's saying that's an endorsement of Labour more than Andy Burnham. But clearly the former Mayor of Manchester is trying to say that this was a vote for him, and the right thing for Keir Starmer to do is to move aside.
Stuart, do you think that this appeal of Burnham also comes from his position, from him returning through the by-election and not through Westminster leadership?
Yeah, he's had 9 years as the Mayor of Manchester to effectively improve his image, and he has been successful, most notably in Manchester, in changing its status, improving public transport, facilities, public services for residents. He's also somebody that's made a great deal out of campaigning for the north of England, which traditionally sees itself as distinct from Westminster and the south of England. So he has a claim there that Keir Starmer simply does not, which is that he will be working for the people in the north of England, and also trying to create more investment there as opposed to here in London and in the southeast. So he is running on a platform that could be very popular, but allies of Keir Starmer do warn that this is one by-election. He may not be seen as favourably across the rest of the country, especially indeed as if some of his policies look like they will be what are implemented if he becomes PM, that might involve nationalising certain public infrastructure. That suggests he might be even more left-wing than Keir Starmer. That may not go down well with voters. voters. It may not go down with all Labour MPs either. But his first hurdle is passed. His second one is to convince enough MPs to back him. Around 80 lawmakers in Parliament behind me have to say they want him to initiate a leadership challenge, and then it's likely the Labour Party membership would have its chance to vote. But that could be a weeks-long, potentially months-long process, and that would cause severe issues for Keir Starmer as he tries to maintain some sort of continuity.
Thank you, Stuart, for getting us the latest from right outside the Parliament as you showed us from London. Thank you so much for joining us and making time.